Hey guys, this is UBR Tech. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be me showing you how to swap out your P365 slide. And what I mean by that is when you buy a brand new slide for your P365, there are going to be a few things that won't come with the slide. And one of them is going to be the extractor, another is going to be the striker assembly, and the back plate that goes in here. So you're going to have to transfer all that stuff from your original slide to the new one. The only thing I'm not going to show you in this video is how to transfer your iron sights. There's a reason why I'm not going to show you how to transfer the iron sights, and that's because I don't want to make this video too long. I'll make a separate video just to show you how to swap out your sights for your P365. So the slide I chose to upgrade to is the True Precision slide for the P365. Let's get on with the video. So I'm going to show you everything you're going to need to do this swap. You're going to need a 3mm punch, a 90-degree pick, an armorer's hammer, preferably one with the nylon side. You're also going to need an armorer's block. I'm going to use my SIG armorer's block. If you don't have an armorer's block, you can also use a roll of duct tape. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the rear plate with the striker assembly. And how we do that is by taking the 90-degree pick and you're going to place it right here. Do you see this little plunger thing? So you're going to put the 90-degree pick right above that like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pull downward and hold downward. Once you have this plunger pushed all the way down, you're going to take your pointer finger and you're going to slide the back plate off. Now, when you slide the back plate off, you're going to make sure to keep your pointer finger over this area because you want to make sure that the striker assembly doesn't come flying out because it's all spring loaded. So it's going to look something like this. Put it down like here, compress it. This comes right off. You can remove this. Take the rear plate off. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to take your thumb and you're going to push this circle downward, okay, towards the table. So I'm pushing my thumb down and I'm going to remove the striker assembly just like that. You're going to remove your thumb slowly off of this circle piece because it's spring loaded. There you go. Put this piece down, tilt it over, and there you go, there's the spring. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the extractor. And how we do that is by removing this pin right here. We're going to remove the pin from the bottom, pushing it out through the top. So the pin's going to go this way. So if you don't have an armorer's block, you're going to use your roll of duct tape. And what you're going to do is you're going to place this hole over this hole right here, just like that. And that's how you're going to tap out your pin. I'll be using my SIG armorer's block. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be placing the hole over this area right here and then tapping out the pin. So here's the hole, goes over that area like that. I take my 3mm punch, place it into this hole right here, just like that. And then I take the armorer's hammer and I tap it out. And there's the pin. Take the pin, put it aside. As you can see, the 3mm punch is still in there and it's captured. And it's good to leave it in there until you put your thumb over this area right here because this part is spring loaded as well. So you're going to put your thumb over this area right here and press in, and that should loosen the tension on the 3mm punch. Slowly release the tension on your thumb and then take the extractor out. As you can see, there's a spring and a little plunger right inside the spring. Mine came out with the extractor. If yours didn't, most likely it'll be in this little hole right here, this little circle, and all you'd have to do is just tilt it out and it'll fall out. Real quick about the extractor, some of the extractors will not work with some slides. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to find out from the manufacturer of the slide to see which extractor is compatible with the slide. And let's start installing some of this stuff. So in order to install the extractor, I'm going to have to remove this top plate. So let's start removing this. There's two screws up here. if you did get a true precision slide, you'll need a T10 hex bit in order to remove those 2 screws. So let's remove this. You're going to take the extractor spring with the plunger still inside, so you can see the plunger still there, and you're going to put that right into this circle area right here, just like this. And it just gets placed just like that. Now we're going to put the extractor into the new slide. There's only one way to put the extractor in, so it's kind of hard to do this wrong. And this rounded part right here, that part is going to go over the spring with the plunger. This part right here with the little piece sticking out downward, that's going to go into this area right here. And it's going to look something like this. I kind of put it in on an angle like that, and then push it back, and then there you go. So you could see that the rounded part is over the spring and plunger. We're going to take our thumb and we're going to push that part, this little rounded part, inward, just like that. And now we're going to take the pin that we had and we're going to put it into this hole right here. So when you're pushing this extractor in, if you look at this hole, see how this hole isn't like a perfect circle? When you push harder, you could see that circle becomes like a perfect circle. So if you don't push hard enough, see how it's not perfect? If you don't push hard enough, the pin won't be able to go into that hole. So you're gonna have to push hard enough to get that pin inside this hole right here so you can capture the extractor. Got the extractor pushed in really hard. I'm going to take the pin and I'm going to insert it into this circle right here. So it looks like with this true precision slide, this hole is a little bit smaller than the factory slide. So what I had to do is I had to start getting the pin into this hole first. Now I can install the extractor. So if you did purchase a true precision slide, you'll have to get the pin started into the hole before you get the extractor in there, because you don't want to mess around trying to get this in here and then here the extractor might pop out and then you lose a spring. So now that I have this started, I'm going to get the spring and plunger put back into place, like I said, right into that little circle area. Put the extractor back in on an angle, get the rounded part over the spring, and now I'm going to push this part in to make it flush. And now I'm going to start tapping this in. Put it over the armor's block. The reason why I use the nylon side is in case if I slip off of the pin, if I hit the slide, it's not going to mar the slide's finish. Now that the pin is far enough to keep the extractor in place, I'm going to take my 3mm punch. I'm going to place it over the pin just like this, and then I'm going to finish tapping that pin in. Keep in mind, the goal here is to get the pin to get flush with, see this area that I'm rubbing? It's going to be flush with that, not this part of the rail, but this part right here. Now let's finish tapping in this pin. I'm going to place my finger next to the punch and the pin, so this way there's less of a chance of my punch slipping off and hitting the slide. And I'm going to tap it in the rest of the way. We're almost there, and there we go. So as you can see, the pin is right there, and it's flush with this area. See, it's just flush. So now that the extractor's in place, now we can install the striker assembly. And how we do that is we take this piece with the spring, and we put it into this little groove right here. These two pieces will go into this area right here. The spring will be facing this part of the slide. This spring might move around a little bit, but what you want to do is make sure that it's still in this groove when you place it into this hole right here. And it's going to look something like this. There we go. And you can feel that it's spring loaded by pushing it in like that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put your thumb over that plunger and you're going to push inward. You're going to take your striker assembly and you're going to put this part in first into this big hole right here, just like that. This silver piece is going to go into this area right here, this open area. just like that. You're going to push all the way down. Once you get this striker assembly all the way down like this, it's going to capture this part right here, so you could take your thumb off of that part, and then you're going to reinstall the back plate. This area of the back plate and this area of the back plate, they are going to get inserted to here and here. So it's going to go in first just like this. That's how it's going to go in. But before we do that, we have to push the striker assembly further down into the slide. Once the striker assembly is pushed in far enough, that's when you can finish the install with the back plate. You have to put your thumb back on this plunger and push downward towards the table, so this way we could push the striker assembly further down. We're going to push the striker assembly further down, take our back door plate, put it in like this, just like that, and then we're going to push in further. You'll hear that click, and then you could release the pressure of your thumb on the plunger, and there you go. So now that we have everything installed on the new slide, let's install it onto the grip module. If you need help installing the slide to the grip module, I'll put a link up to the top right hand corner, so this way you can click on that link, go to the video, figure out how to put everything back together. The only thing I'll have to do is I'll have to oil it just to make sure everything's oiled properly, but I just want to show you how to do the install. So congratulations, you have replaced your original slide with a new aftermarket slide. Just as a reminder, I will have an install video for these sites on this slide that will come out right after this video. If you thought the video was helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Every subscriber helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one.